my name is Belle, and this is the Belle Perspective, and today we are here to talk about love and marriage Huntsville. I'm not gonna lie to you, all right? It's been a minute, all right? I skipped out on a couple of these episodes just because it's been a snooze fest, okay? A snooze fest. I have had insomnia for a couple days. Turn on these episodes and I go right to sleep, okay? Go right to sleep. But anyway, I'm here. We are going to review it. I've got a couple things I want to talk about. So let's get into it. All right. So the episode opens up from where the last episode was when Martell decided he was going to take his foolish ass out down to Atlanta and try to recreate the whole boys trip, which is overdone, tired, through, and delayed. But you know they're gonna try to hold on to this for as long as they can. All right. So everyone's, this is the main event, right? And all the guys are there. Everyone is there celebrating Inez. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I know that this wine is named after his grandmother, and I understand that it's a tribute to her, but I really need them to at least change that T to an S. If you're going to say Inez, make it Inez, I-N-E-S-S, because when I first look at it, it don't look like Inez, okay? I'm going to just say that, all right? When I first read it, I was like, what? And just for marketing purposes, you might want to go ahead and take that T off of it and just say Inez, N-E-S-S, and just let the ancestors take that, because I just don't think the way that they named it is good for marketing. I immediately saw it and I was just like, ugh, I don't want no parts of that. I don't want no parts, okay? So Martell got his King of Zamunda stole on. She's your queen to be. I was just like, Martell, who is dressing? Martell think he's so cute. Martell wears outfits that are for handsome men. And while I know some people think Martell is handsome, I don't think Martell is handsome, and he don't need to be wearing them suits. It just draw too much attention. It just draw too much attention to him. Anyway, so he comes down. You can tell he's had a few drinks. He's kind of like in and out, not his typical self. So anyway, he gives a speech. It was terrible, not practiced. They didn't rehearse it or anything, and you can clearly tell. And I'm like, Melnika, why didn't you have something prepared for him? Or why didn't you only have him come up there and speak for just a couple minutes? Not even just say, thank y'all so much for coming out, I appreciate it, this is for an Inez. It could have just been real quick, real simple, real good, like just that. He really embarrassed himself. And so Uncle Sam, who is Inez's son, got upset with him and was like, this is how you contribute, or this is how you make a tribute to your grandmother, my mother? No, sir, this is not how you do things. And while I understand the embarrassment that Martell felt, I also felt like he didn't handle it well. If his uncle was upset, why would you minimize him and say, oh, this is on national TV? Sir, you ain't have no problem embarrassing yourself, embarrassing your wife on national TV with your goings-ons, okay? Now you mad because your uncle, it just gets me. This is where you draw the line, Martell? Okay. Anyway, so that I felt like the whole scene was cringy. It was just very cringy to me. And I personally could, yikes. Okay, that's how I felt. So Chris and Marceau and Maurice and Louis sit around and they're talking about it, and they're like, so it's two sides. So Maurice and Marceau, and Maurice always taking up from Martell, always taking up from Martell. For whatever reason, I haven't figured it out. I'm pretty sure it's because he knows where the bodies are. But, that's neither here nor there. If Kimmy likes it, I love it, okay? So basically making excuses for Martell per usual. And Chris was like, Chris was making faces. I don't know if y'all saw Chris making them faces, but the whole time Chris was making faces. And his faces was like, y'all on some bullshit. Y'all on some bullshit. And that's that bullshit. Like, he constantly was on making some faces the whole time. And I was here for it. I thought it was funny. So anyway, wraps up, end of the night. They go, they leave the mansion. Martell's dressed in this tight ass suit per usual. I was curious to know where he was going because everybody else was dressed casually. He must have had something to do. He wasn't gonna tell nobody. Anyway, so we get back to Tiffany and Louis. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, when I first watched the episode, I fast forwarded through this. I was like, I'm not watching them. I don't give a fuck what they got going on. But then I was like, no, don't do that. This is a part of the show. Trust Carlos King's process, because, you know, he may know more than you do, right? In this particular realm. So I forced myself to watch this. Baby, when I tell you I had to stop, go do something, I've had to rewind that scene so many times because birds flew up on my patio. I got distracted by them. Child, I was doing all kinds of stuff but watching Tiffany and Louis. The main reason why I feel like I just can't keep my attention is because I feel like their conflict is phony and contrived. I feel like this is not a real issue. I don't feel like this is what they're really going through. I feel like they're hearing the feedback from the people, and people are saying, hey, y'all shit is boring. So now they're trying to drum up stuff, because honestly, the way that Tiffany was interrogating him and asking about where the women came from and how they came and where all of these things, it was just very phony to me. Just not how a woman would really, like, it was just this phony insecurity to me. And it was like, girl, you don't have to be that to be on this show, right? And then she even goes into this conversation with Louis where she was like, you know, sex is a real issue. You know, it's a real thing. So let's be for real about this. I'm like, well, you weren't being for real about this before. Well, what was happening before? Right? Like, what, you weren't being real about having this conversation with him before on camera? So what were we doing? Are we doing at this point? So anyway, but she was just asking him where they went, what they were doing, how they got, you know, who was there, you know, and Louis was basically giving her the deets and everything. Yada, yada, yada. Fast forward. I just blah, blah, blah. So Tisha, Marceau, Kimmy, Maurice, they're having their conversations in separate households, but about the same thing, about their experience while they were in Atlanta. I'm going to tell you this right now. This show, these men on this show literally strike a chord within me that makes me, I get so disgusted with them. When I see them, it is a feeling of disgust because of the chauvinism and the sexism. It is so, it's unreal to me. I'm like, y'all really think this way? And they picked the right women to be with them, okay? They picked the right ones, because couldn't be me. But again, if Tisha love it, Kimmy love it, girl, go off, sis. Go off. You can have at it. So okay? Tisha and Marceau, we always see Marceau laying in the bed. He talking about he a hardworking man, but he stayed laying in the bed, okay? So Tisha comes in, you know, grilling him about the trip, what happened on the trip. He basically tells her, you know, we end up going to a strip club, and he's like, you know, I did my thing. And Tisha's like, well, what is your thing? I don't know what your thing is, you know? And he's like, well, you know, I do my thing when I do that thing. I'm like, all right, we don't have time. We don't have time, right? So then they go into a conversation where, and this is where I was about to pull out my dagger and stab my TV. Like, that's how mad Marceau had got me. But I feel like I'm starting to realize this is what Marceau purposely does. He purposely trolls people so that he can get you riled up, because any press is good press for him. Bad press is good press to him. So he makes the claim that, you know, he was saying that, you know, I can't believe, and he's talking in reference to Martell, I can't believe that he would go out and ruin his family over sex. Is it really that serious? And Marcel says, yes, it really is that serious. Next question. Tisha then responds to him and says, not funny, Marcel. You know how she talk, right? I really want her to go and get speech therapy. I really need her to do that. And I'm not making fun of her. What I'm saying is that I feel like it would give her more confidence to have a voice. She needs to practice talking. She needs to practice talking so that she can have a voice, so she can get with Marcel, because I'm so sick and tired of him talking about nothing. Like, Marcel thinks he's so profound. Anyway, so basically he agreed with Martell and said that if your wife isn't having sex with you and that's really important to you, then you need to go ahead and outsource it. Outsource it? That's what y'all call it? I would have jumped on him. He would have got beat up that day. Do you hear me? He would have got beat up. Do I promote domestic violence? No, I do not. But he would have got his ass. You know you need your ass beat, Marceau, for that. You really do. You really do. And again, Tisha, you got the right one. Now, I also want to bring up the fact, I just want us to remember back a couple seasons ago when Tisha wanted to go back to work and do her career thing, Marceau was telling her, she was like, listen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get a nanny. I'm going to, you know, do all these things so that we can make sure that the household is taken care of while I'm out. Marceau was like, no, you can't outsource motherhood. You can't do that. But you can outsource sex. I would have jumped on. He would have got beat up. He would have got jumped on. I would have jumped on him. He would have got beat up. He would have got beat up. I'm not saying domestic violence is okay. I didn't say it was right. But I don't know how I would have been able to handle that. I don't know. So then he went into trying to say that, you know, if a woman's, you need to focus on your priorities, and, you know, when women weren't working, they didn't have to worry about, they could focus on taking care of the house and doing all these things. Basically, what he was saying in a nutshell, if you have a job, the reason why you're not able to handle all your wifely duties is because you're out working. And you need to be focused on me, and I'm your number one priority. But to keep himself from sounding as stone age as he sounds, he tried to be like, you know, focus on you and I focus on you and you focus on me. He tried to make it sound like it was a mutual thing, but it really wasn't. He didn't. That's not Marceau. That we stop. Anyway, so meanwhile, while they're having a conversation and Tisha's putting up with that bullshit with him, Maurice is having a conversation with Kimmy. Kimmy's asking him about the strip club because Kimmy told him, or Marceau told him, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't give a fuck about none of these niggas. I don't care about none of these niggas and their names. I'm so sick of them. They don't even deserve respect. Like, the way that they don't like, these men do not like women. They only want to have sex with them. Like, they don't care about your feelings. They don't, and I'm not talking about all men, but I'm talking about these particular men on the show. They do not care about your feelings. They do not care about how you think. They do not care about what your goals, your dreams, what you want to do. All they care about is having sex with you. That's it. They don't give a shit about nothing else. That's it. And they hate women. These men literally hate women. They just want to sleep with them. That's it. Which I don't understand. Why get married? You might as well just hire a nanny, pay someone, outsource sex, right? Anyway, so Marceau's so damn cheap, he don't want to pay for it. Child, you got me. I would have jumped on anyway, okay. Maurice and Kimmy. So Maurice is, again, telling Kimmy all about the thing. And now Kimmy going into this whole, did you touch the strippers? Did you touch them? And he was like, oh, what's the definition of touch? Now, he's a whole attorney now. He's a whole attorney asking, what's the definition of touch? I mean, your physical presence physically touching someone else. A touch is not a tap. I don't have time for this. This is semantics, and I'm not playing these games with you. Marceau, Maurice, whatever your name is, Super Mario, I don't give a fuck what your name is. Let me tell you something. If your wife was out at somewhere and she let a man touch her, you would be upset. By any definition, you would be mad. Y'all would be big mad. But it's so funny that it's okay for you, but not okay for anybody else. Child, it's the double standards. And Kimmy, used to actually be my favorite, but I can't. You know, I really cannot with you anymore, Kimmy. I'm just looking at you like, girl, this is who you married, girl. And you just really wanted to have a husband at this point. You really just wanted a man in your house. You really just wanted to be with someone, because he doesn't treat you good. Like, he doesn't care about your thoughts. I've never seen him incorporate you in his life. He doesn't treat you with any kind of like, and I'm just reverence or anything. So what are you here for? Just so you can say you got a husband? I don't know, Kimmy. Please. Anyway, so all right. Anyway, so Tisha goes to see Dr. Francis. I love Dr. Francis because Dr. Francis be telling the truth. Okay, Dr. Francis is the only therapist on the TV that tells the truth to people and don't have no problem with hurting your feelings. He don't got no problem telling you about yourself. And I love it. I'm here for it. So Dr. Francis is talking to Tisha. Tisha goes out and tells Dr. Francis how Marceau goes to Africa without her. And she was like, it was just a last minute trip. Tisha, going to Tanzania is not a last minute trip. It takes months to plan that kind of thing. I just laughed. I was like, Marceau, I literally said to myself, Marceau picked the right one. He picked the right one. He did. He knew exactly what he was doing when he picked Tisha. So, Dr. Francis was like, that's not a last minute trip. Going to the grocery store is a last minute trip. You know, going to Tanzania, baby, that's not a last minute trip. Saying everything that we were already saying, okay? So she's like, well, you know, I've been trying to talk to him about, you know, he's like, basically, you know, there's a dependency issue going on here. And she was like, no, I don't see that. Of course you don't, sweetie. Of course you don't. And I personally, here's where I feel about Tisha. I personally don't think that Tisha's dumb. I think Tisha is a very intelligent woman, okay? I feel like, number one, Marceau uses Tisha because she got good credit. I feel like that. Something is telling me that, okay? I feel like Tisha got good credit, okay? Number one. Number two, I feel like Tisha's absolutely gorgeous. And I feel like Marceau know that on a good day, even on a bad day, Tisha's too good for him, okay? I feel like Marceau knows that what he's got, but he'll try to minimize it. Like, you ever meet somebody who is trying to haggle you, right? They know the worth of this bag, right? Somebody trying to haggle you, you trying to get a YSL bag, right? Now they know this bag about $3,500, right? $35 to $4,500, right? They trying to haggle you to tell you that the bag ain't nothing worth but $900, right? They trying to haggle you for your worth, right? I feel like what Marceau has been doing to her for the last 15 years is haggle her worth. And so her self-esteem all the way on the ground, right? And she doesn't want to have to do the work to build it. I don't even know if she don't want to have to do the work. I think that she knows that if she does do the work to build her shit, she gonna be out the door, and I think that scares her. I feel like progress scares her. I don't think that she's ready to make that decision yet, right? I feel like she's in the same position as Mel was. It's kind of like, I don't want to see it. I'm going to let myself sit in this. I don't really, So anyway, I went off on a whole tangent, child. Oh God. Anyway, so he was basically saying that there is a dependency issue here. And so what the dependency issue is that Marceau knows that you don't like conflict, so he's going to push the limit. And so banking on the fact that he knows that you're not going to push the limit gives him leeway to not have to take any responsibility. She was like, oh, I do see that. I couldn't go to Africa because I had to take care of my kids. Now, wait a minute. Flag on the play. Them not Marceau's kids either? Are they not Marceau's kids? Did Marceau not care about where those kids were going to live, stay, who was going to take care of them while he was gone? Marceau did say this in the beginning, that those aren't his kids. Those are Tisha's kids. He would have got beat up all the fight. First of all, I wouldn't have even been with no Marceau. I wouldn't even be in this. I would not even give room for this type of fuckery. Do you understand? Like, I would not give room for this type of fuckery, right? And Marceau would know that I'm not that type of woman that would put up with no kind of fuckery. Like, these kinds of men know what kind of woman to go after. They know. And they test their boundaries. So anyway, Dr. Francis was just looking at her like, bless her heart. Oh, bless her heart, Jesus. All right, bless her heart, God. I don't know how she got through him. I don't know how she got up him. But you know what? Bless her heart, Jesus. Bless her heart. All right? So she ends up, before she goes, Dr. Francis invites them on a couples trip. They always got to do a couples trip, whatever. Dr. Francis is inviting them on a trip. She was like, I'm gonna try to get him to get interested in going. Girl, ma'am, I don't know. So if you don't pack your motherfucking bags, we going to this goddamn couples retreat. Don't play with me. I am not for play. Do you hear what I'm saying? Ooh, baby, he gonna get interested today. I know y'all be like, damn, Belle, you real aggressive. God damn it, I will be for a motherfucker like Marceau. Baby, I got time today. I got all the aggression for his ass. I do not like him at all. I do not like him. Anyway, okay, so flipping on to Martell and his mama. This scene was so cringy. I'm like, this is representation of black men and how they are with their mothers. His mother constantly has him latched to the tit and not holding him accountable for anything. I mean, again, she just taught him like he the greatest man in the world. No, nothing. Like, she talks to him like he is the greatest man in the world. And it was so sad to watch. I hate to see it. I hate to see it. Like, what's the point of having a mirror if it's not going to give you a true reflection? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to throw it away if it's not going to give a true reflection. If you cannot be real with your mother and your mother cannot be real with you and hold you accountable, then what's the whole point of the relationship in the first place? Like, what? Anyway, so Martell, irony. Okay, here's an irony moment here. Martell has the nerve to talk about how Sam didn't have any self-control at the party to not act that way at his event. Martell, I know you're not talking about having self-control. I know you not talking about somebody not having self-control. You see what I'm saying? Like, how you... Cut it out. Cut it out, brother. Cut it out. And let me tell you something. I'm going to be on Martell, Marceau, and Maurice's neck every time. I do not like them. These men do not like women. They only want women to be available to them for sex. That's it. That is absolutely it. So for that reason, I'm gonna be on their neck every time I get an opportunity, because I cannot stand that. For me as a woman, I can never show grace to somebody who does not like me as a person. You do not like me as a person, as a woman. You think my place belongs somewhere behind you. You think that you can put me in my place. Like, there is just... I take issue with them every time I see them. And every time I have an opportunity, my foot gonna be on their neck. Do you hear what I'm saying? On their necks. Okay. So Martell again, sitting here talking, having this little pep talk with his mama, because I feel like every time he feel mad or upset, he go to his mama, and his mama fill him up with bullshit, and he be like, yep, his inflated sense of self. I'm big on Martell wearing these tight ass suits, right? I'm so sick of him. Anyway, so he was talking about how his grandmother had passed and how he felt like, you know, he didn't want to do, you know, go through the NFL tryouts or anything because his grandmother had passed. And I don't know what it was, but something told me that shit was some bullshit. That was a lie. I'm starting to pick up on how Martell lie. And it's a way that he sounds. He sounds uncertain. And I've heard this tone several times when I know he's lying about something, right? Like he said it the whole time when he was saying that he wasn't messing with the girl anymore, his girlfriend, his baby mama now. He used that same tone, and it's come up on several occasions. And I was just like, Martell, I don't believe you. I think you lying about this. I think you just wanted people to know, or I think you wanted just people to allude or make the assumption that you could have gone to the NFL. I don't believe you, Marcel, or Martell, or whatever the hell your name is. Who gives a fuck, because you're not an honorable man and you don't remember your name? But anywho, so I feel like I don't feel like he's telling the truth. I really don't. But anyway, okay, so apparently, you know, Mel got married to Martell when she was 22. Now let's unpack this real quick. So Mel tells Kimmy that Melnika, who is his current manager now, was also their event planner for their wedding. She called them all on three-way and basically aired Martell out for being a cheater, saying, you know, you were trying to talk to my assistant and all these things. And Melly said, you know, I was 22 at the time. Obviously I didn't believe Melnika. And she stopped being our wedding planner. I had to call her mother to help me finish up planning our wedding. So in my mind, I'm like, she said on multiple occasions that Martell has been cheating. There has been on multiple occasions. She said before they got married, Martell was cheating. She said he was cheating then. And I remember that this was in, either it was on a reunion when she said it, or it was in a live with Funky Dineva. I believe it was the live with Funky Dineva. She said before they got married, he was cheating. She said that he was cheating with other women outside of the one that he got pregnant as well. So this is not the first time that he has been cheating on her. And while I understand at 22 you keep going because you're 22, I'm like, any type of rumblings where there's smoke, there is fire. But I guess when you're young, you're not gonna really know that, right? You're not gonna really, and you're probably looking at it as you against the world. Like all these people are trying to, because that's probably how he spend it. Look at all these haters trying to hate against us and da 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 da. I'm sure that's how he spend it. So, but I have questions for Melnika. Now, Melnika, if you gonna turn around and you can't help this man get married, you bust him out for cheating, but then you turn around and be his manager years later after he's divorced. I was peeping Melnika already. I ain't gonna lie to you, I was already peeping her anyway. I was kind of like, I was with Marceau. Now Marceau be right sometimes, he ain't shit, but sometimes he be right. He was like that friend zone. So Melnika, you want Martell. You want Martell. And Melnika, you tried to ruin their relationship. Now he was cheating. You knew he was cheating. But let me tell you something. If you gonna bust a cheater out, that means you taking a side, you taking a stance, and you ain't fooling with him no more. You don't want to fool with him because you don't respect him. Child, here's the thing about Martell. Martell is a blood sucker. Do you hear what I'm saying? Martell is a blood sucker. All these men are blood suckers, but Martell is the #1 blood sucker to me. He looks at women as if they are resources for him, right? Now that he's no longer with Melody Holt or Melody Green Rogers, whatever her name is, now he's not with her. He's turned to another male so that he can use her to suck her out. Now he's not going to turn it sexual, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about Martell. Just dangling the idea of possibility to a woman like Melnika is enough for Melnika to want to be around. Child, Martell he constantly blood sucks women, right? He doesn't like them, but needs them in order to get what he needs done, and also to feel better about himself. It's just a sad. It's a sad matrix over here. But anyway, that's all I've got. That's all I've got. Melnika, I've got questions for you, girl. I've got questions for you. Girl, I already was looking at you sideways anyway, and so now I'm really looking at you like, child, yeah, okay, I see you, girl. I see what type of woman you are. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my review on Love and Marriage Huntsville. I should be coming up with the other Love and Marriage DC. P-Valley should be coming out. Love Match Atlanta. I haven't watched any of these episodes yet. I will. But anyway, get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Again, I stay on Martell, Marceau, and Maurice's neck. I do not like them. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Argue with your mama. Them niggas ain't shit. Do you hear me? Anyway, so get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the latest episode. Is it boring? Do you trust the process with Carlos King? Because at this point, it's a chore to watch this show. It's so boring. Anyway, just let me know what you think. Get down in the comments. And if you want to be a part of this growing channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. What you waiting on? I have a goal. I'm wanting to reach 30. I know it's a small number, but it's major. It's large to me. Anyway, go ahead. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. My name is Belle. This is The Belle Perspective, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.